we've got a unique organization which now has tremendous resources, and nobody really can copy our style.
We're meeting with a subsidiary today as well. This is the last time you were in Japan, Warren, was 12 years ago, and it was to come to the factory right. from the representatives who came to visit you today.
It started with nothing. It came from getting a 1-page letter, 1.25-page letter through the mail. And in that 1.25-page letter, the person talking to me, who I'd never heard of before, I hadn't heard of his company, he told me more than these 60-page brochures that the investment bankers would bring out. He told me how much he wanted for the business. He told me what it was like. He told me why it fit into Berkshire. And he said and a couple of other people would come over if I liked what he was suggesting. And they came and we made a deal. And we got whatever it was, $5 billion in overall valuation. And we made a deal. And then not too many months later, Charlie and I and a couple of the Blumpkins and Sandy got us, and we got on a plane and we went over to see whether there was really anything there we'd written a check for. And it's just been an amazing company. It started with nothing, but it had nothing, and it was making little tools that other people made, and they already had the customers in the United States. They could buy the tungsten in China, and these guys, they've created a business that we are extraordinarily proud of. We love what they've accomplished, and they don't stop. They just keep going. And in Japan, they just bought a 51% interest in another company that fits in. ISCAR will never stop. Berkshire will be proud of it.
Are the opportunities in Japan better than the opportunities in the United States right now?
Well, it isn't one versus the other. We can do both, but we do have more money through equities. Now we don't know a lot of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola does a lot of business here. Apple does a huge amount of business here. So we do it indirectly through American investments. But we have more money in terms of equity securities in Japan than in any other country in the world, and all of Europe combined. So
Minus the United States.
We like
excluding the U.S.
Can you tell us what happened? Were you talking to the Biden administration about problems with the banks?
I never talked to the president. I've never called the president in my life, but I have talked with people that from time to time that work around the president. That's been true for administration after administration, and I don't talk about what I talk with them about.
Okay, so let's talk about what's happening in the banking sector right now. Is this a banking crisis? Is this financials in turmoil? Is this banking crisis 2.0? What would you call what we've been seeing happen?
Well, I would say that some of the dumb things that banks do. Banker told me one time, he says, I don't know why we keep looking for new ways to lose money when the old ones are working so well. And they made the same mistake, but they haven't made the same sort of mistakes that they made back in 2008 or 9. But they have mismatched assets and liabilities, and bankers have been tempted to do that forever, and every now and then it bites them in a big way. And it's just amazing to me that banks could make presentations to financial analysts and everything, and if one bank bought a bond at 100 and another bought it at 96, and they both held a maturity, one bank carries it at 100 and another bank carries it at 96. I mean, it is accounting procedures have driven some bankers to do some things that may have helped their current earnings a little bit and caused the recurring temptation to get a little bit bigger spread and report a little more in earnings, and it ended in a result you could predict. It's happened before. It's happened this time. It'll happen again someday.